country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Hey, good Monday morning. Dear American family, welcome to the program. Glad you guys are here. Yeah, we're 5 minutes late, but you know what? At least we're not pregnant. I want you guys to jump in that chat. I want you guys to jump in that chat this morning and join us. We're going to have a good time on this Monday morning. A lot to get to. It's going to be, I think it's going to be some thought-provoking and some chat-provoking things. We had some technical difficulties, so I will not be on Facebook. The show will not be on my Facebook this morning. So, whoops. It always seems to be something. We'll get to the bottom of it. And the things I'm saying right now that are coming out of my mouth, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But thank you, dear American family, for being a part of what we're doing here. And thank you for the Rumble chat, as well as those of you that are over there still under the tutelage and the enslavement of the Google overlords over on YouTube. If you want to, come join us over here on Rumble. Come join us and subscribe, click like, do all the stuff, float those American flags in the chat. Let me see you. You know, people are saying that tariffs are just a sales tax on American consumers. And in a way, they're right. I mean, we're going to see some prices that are going to go higher. There's a huge debate on this whole tariff issue because, again, the same people that told you to mask up and take your kids out of school and educate them through a Zoom call and obey the stickers on the floor at the grocery store and socially distance for 3.5 years and shut your business down and the economy are going to tell you, the same people are going to tell you that tariffs are bad. And I don't know if they're good or bad or not. I just don't know. But I think that I would be okay with a little bit higher, quote, sales tax from tariffs if people that make $150,000 a year didn't have to pay income tax. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be okay if the U.S. wound up with some of the lowest tariff rates that we've ever had in nearly 65 years. And I think it'd be cool if we level the playing field. I think if tariffs took those companies like Apple and Honda and a whole lot of others and forced them, pushed them, pressured them to build here and then create tens of thousands of jobs, high-quality jobs, for blue-collar people here in America, I think I'd be okay with a little bit temporary higher prices right now. I mean, everybody kept saying, buy American, buy American, buy American. This is, in essence, literally the opportunity for you to buy American. Mark Cuban came out yesterday and said, everybody needs to go to Walmart and stock up on their toothpaste and all their stuff. Dude, what if you went and bought it from small and local companies instead of supporting a company like Walmart that gets all their stuff from China? But see, they don't think like that. It's all about convenience. It's all about pushing the button. It's all about cheaper stuff. We've become so reliant on Chinese crap. Well, 80% of the stuff you buy on Amazon comes from China. And we've gotten so reliant on it that we don't know how to think about a world that's any different. Now, I mean, what if that meant that we didn't import 75% of our drones, which is what's becoming the future of weaponry? 75% of our drone technology is coming from China. China is literally building the weapons that we may potentially have to use against them one day. I mean, what if it meant that the Mexican government sent 10,000 troops to the southern border to stop the fentanyl from coming into America and killing 70,000 Americans a year? I think I'd be okay with a little temporary higher price. If you want to call it a tax, call it a tax. But I'm actually okay with that. Like, this is me investing in the future of American exceptionalism. I mean, I think that when we got a $2 trillion deficit, a $37 trillion debt, I think that maybe we could avoid a second Great Depression. Maybe the tariffs will bring back a little more made in America energy rather than that made in China crap. I think I'd be okay with it. Now, I'm open to discussion because is it going to work? I don't know. But yeah, there's going to be some negatives that are there. There's going to be some pros and there's going to be some cons. But if you're sitting around focusing on the negatives all the time, well, you can't exclude the positives because let's face it, there are some positives that are out there. I'm all about America first. I'm all about America only, quite honestly, but that ain't the world we're living in. And while I'm no macroeconomics expert, I don't know if the tariff tactic's going to work or not, but I do know that I'm willing to give it a chance. And I'd love to hear it from you in the chat. Are you willing to give it a chance? Yes or no in the chat, yes or no, because you're going to give it a chance whether you want to or not. I'm just curious to know, do you want to? Yes or no? Yes, no in the chat. Let me hear from you. In the meantime, let me tell you something that you can get a little control over. That is backing your future retirement with gold. I want you guys to consider my friends over at Birch Gold by texting Graham, Graham, to 989898 and get your free, no obligation information kit from Birch Gold. Roll that 401k over that's not doing anything from a former employer or the savings account or whatever it is you've got. Maybe you haven't even started yet with your retirement savings. Take the time to talk to the folks at Birch Gold. They will not lead you astray. They will help you do the right thing, to make the right decision for you and your family. Secure your future. All you got to do is text Graham to 989898. If you're sitting on the fence, make the decision. Do it today. Text Graham, 989898, and talk to him over at Birch Gold. All right, guys, let's get into it. A whole lot of stuff to cover. Before we do, I need some help, all the help I can get. Welcome to the show. Everybody's favorite Mexican Tony.
What up, everybody? Good morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, thank you. There it is. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And that's why Chad is who he is, man. That was a great intro right there, man. Well, you rocked it there after that 5 minute technical difficulties there. We can't even blame the producer today. That was all Chad right there.
No, it was Chadnical. It was 100%. It was Mark Zuckerberg's fault. It was a Marknical, Zuckerbergnical thing. And so I missed you guys whether or not you said yes or no. If you're willing to give it, there's a lot of folks saying yes. I think there's a lot of folks saying yes to the tariff idea. Let's give it a chance. I think it's an investment in America, and I think we're going to see pretty quick that investment's working pretty well. The guy that I trust for not only my retirement needs, but my macroeconomic input. He's everybody's favorite redneck. He understands how to dig those mason jars up out of the ground and run his fingers through that gold in the backyard. Hot Seat Todd is here.
What's up, everybody? I'm not playing the music. I'm not doing it. I'm not
man.
doing it. Here, I'll do this, though. I mean, required.
Yeah.
There you go. That is required. Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all had an outstanding weekend. I did. I spent 11 hours on a baseball field Saturday calling, so I'm glad I get to sit down for a little while, but I'm a little sore this morning.
I got a little surprise for you guys. One, I got bring me back up there. I got the look at my little baby Trumps. I got little baby Jesuses. And I got baby Jesus. Little black look. Who says Trump's a racist? He got a little black Jesus and little. All kind of stuff. I got a surprise for you guys. So I went and did a show in Springfield, Missouri a couple of weeks ago. I had a lot of protesters, and a lady walked up to me, and she gave me this card. And I said, I will not read it until I read it on the show. Will you move the thing off of Tony's face there? It's blue in his mouth there. There we go. Party Foul Steve sits over there, and he moves my mouse around. He don't even know he's doing it. But here's a letter. It's addressed to Chad, Todd, Royce, and Tony. I don't know why she put Tony's name first. Thank you for special ministry. God has blessed you with gifts that are making differences, wisdom and truth you share. Love your caring cover. She said, can't thank you guys enough for the impact you've had in my life, especially the week following one of the tornadoes that damaged my family's home. And then she puts a bunch of blessings on there. Bless you guys. And that's from Sherry. So God bless you, Sherry. Thank you for that. Yeah, I get to go out and be with the people. I get to go mingle.
That sucks. That sucks.
I get to go mingle amongst the folks.
That's all right. I got you in, let's see, today's the 7th. What's it, 12 more days? I get to hang out with you in 12 more days?
I think that's right. You're gonna be in, we're going to be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi,
Yeah,
aren't we?
that's right.
I'll be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and New Orleans, Louisiana. We're doing our Gulf of America comedy tour. So come out and check us out. WatchChad.com for all the fun stuff is. All right, speaking of Royce, what are you going to say, Tony?
Oh, wait, Todd, you said you're going to go hang out with Chad?
Yeah, on the 19th.
Oh, cool. And then you're coming down. You're coming down.
And I'm coming down to hang out with you the very next weekend. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Zach's getting married too. So
that's right.
There you go. Yep.
I get to hang out with the whole crew in a week.
Wow, look at you.
I know, man.
Look at us. We're rubbing off on each other. Speaking of rubbing off on somebody else, play this little clip from our buddy Royce, man. Look at this beautiful clip he posted, everybody. A little congratulations for Royce. Oh, my gosh. Look at them. Leave it to a good videographer to make this announcement. Speaking of greeting cards.
It's a Hallmark moment.
little baby in that ultrasound picture. So congratulations to so sweet. They having little Italian babies, or little
Yep.
Cubano babies.
I hope you have twin girls, Royce.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
everybody throw a little congrats in there. They're such a cute couple, man. I love them so much. And Ed, so we've known about this for a while now.
We
but
have?
I have. And
I just found out this morning.
I knew back when Royce was considering having to go up to D.C. He called me on the phone. He goes, what do I do? Like, I've got this job opportunity. I've got this thing to go do in D.C. My wife is. I said, listen, brother. I said, here's the thing. Life is a blessing. You don't ever worry about it. You don't ever worry about life. Life is a blessing. I mean, what are you gonna do? You gonna abort a baby because of your job? No, obviously you're not gonna do that. We don't even talk like that. I said, God gave you a gift, and God don't make mistakes, man. So congratulations. I said, what you're going to do is you're going to go be the best daddy you can be, and you're going to celebrate. And that's what they're doing, and I love that.
Congratulations, Warden.
I got two things to say here. Number one is Royce and Gianna, congratulations, guys. You know, having kids are a blessing and a curse at the same time. But you guys will find that out pretty quick. Second thing is, it's your first child, and I remember when I had my first baby, he's over here making videos and throwing it on Instagram. I remember when I had my first kid, I was looking for my cordless phone so I can charge it because it was dead, so I can call people. I literally was like, hey, I gotta call. We gotta call 20 different people over here, because that was before we had smartphones and all that. So how far we've come in the technology here, where they're making videos of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I want to go. I'm going to get my kids. They're grown now. My kids are all adults, but I think we should go back and do a retro birth announcement for my kids, and I'll walk the actual children down the beach.
There you go.
And be like, guess what, everybody? Anyway, God bless him. I didn't know Royce had it in him, honestly. I mean, good for him. Good for him. But no, we kid. Congratulations. Speaking of having something in you, Terrence Howard had to talk about.
Your
He went
segues
on.
here.
He
better,
went
man.
Terrence Howard, he made a revelation about the Diddy parties, and I'd love to hear. Terrence Howard's a smart dude. I would
Very
love.
smart.
He went on Patrick Bet David, and he was talking about what happened and who happened at the Diddy parties. I'd love for you guys to tell me if you think this is true or not. I don't know. Why would you not think it's true? I mean, this seems like he knows the inside scoop. Play this clip.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
I mean,
Woo.
now he goes on to basically say, I mean, he's kind of naming some names here. I mean, he's talking about everybody from Jay-Z to LeBron James to Barack Obama.
Yeah, right there.
LeBron James.
I mean, I don't know that anybody's necessarily surprised at Barack Obama, but yeah, I mean, it's a fair point what he's saying there. I mean, when you're trading something. Well, you know, if it's a girl on a casting couch or a Harvey Weinstein kind of situation, you're trading something precious in order to get fame. There is a price to pay. There is a price to pay with all of these people. You're giving up something, and what we're doing, and none of us are surprised by that, is just seeing the dark, mysterious, seedy underbelly of this world. I think this is the year that Hollywood just totally gets exposed.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear in the chat what you guys think. Now, you might think that they're going to stay protected. I think whether there's anything that happens consequentially, I don't know. But I think this is the year that Hollywood in that celebrity industry gets exposed more than anything else. Have you guys seen the stuff going on with like Justin Bieber? I mean, like he's totally
he
breaking
looks
down.
Terrible.
Man.
He and it goes back to what Terrence said. Like, you know, they turn to drugs and because they've given up their integrity. And it's biblical. What worth is it to gain the whole world if you lose your soul?
Yeah.
And I've said this on my show multiple times. I firmly believe that when in the beginning, when God created man, when he took dirt and he made man and he breathed life into him, that there is a hole in your soul.
Yeah.
And that hole can only be filled by a relationship with the one that created you. And you can fill it with whatever you want to. It's a bottomless pit. Money, drugs, alcohol, sex, fame, fortune, whatever. But it's going to be empty, and it's driving these people crazy because they have all this stuff, but not the one thing to fill that hole. And that's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, wait a minute. Where are the lists? Where are the tapes? I mean,
Yeah.
he's been in jail for a long time. I mean, it goes along with the whole Epstein files and all that. Why hasn't anything been released? Pam Bondi, President Trump. Why has nothing been released yet? Where's the transparency here?
Again, to turn it back on me, I had someone that came at me just this morning about the whole Epstein list thing, the photo op. We got bombarded. We got ambushed by basically paparazzi with the mainstream media when we were at the White House. And I was like, we knew there was nothing in there. Within 2 hours, I was on mainstream media saying there's nothing in here. We still need the list. I'm not defending Pam Bondi, never have. But here's the thing, to your point, Todd, and I agree. With both of you. Todd, when it says that God breathed into Adam the breath of life, that in the Hebrew is kaye nefesh. He became a lifed soul. When God came walking in the cool of the day, he came walking in the breeze, the wind, the soul of the day to educate him. Adam had an inside to outside life, and whenever they sinned and rebelled against God, everything became outside to inside. Now it's not about what's in me coming out and influencing the world. It's what's coming from outside to inside the world influencing me. And so these guys, you're right, they're trying to fill that lifed soul that is now gone. And they're doing it, and they're saying, oh, well, maybe if I get famous, maybe if I get rich, maybe if I get accepted, maybe if I get, all of these things, and there's no reality in the bottom of it. So it's a sad deal. It's a sad deal, but we have got to expose the high places. And how that happens, I'm not quite sure. But that's why, the Bible talks about pulling down those high places, because it's those high places that are controlling what's happening to these men and women. And it's just absolutely disgusting. And ultimately it matters because it's going to influence your children.
Yeah.
And these are the people who have influence over our children.
And we've seen we pretty much know now. Epstein, we have a couple names, but we pretty much know with Diddy. I mean, you had Cat Williams coming out talking about Jay-Z, talking about T.D. Jakes. Terrence Howard's talking about Jay-Z, Beyonce, Barack Obama, all these people. I mean, we pretty much know. The only thing that's left is slapping on the cuffs and perp walking people, which is,
And
I mean, I'm
obviously-
sorry, I need it. I gotta have it. I mean, it's gotta happen.
And
But,
obviously,
I mean,
these people-
realistically.
Go ahead, Tony.
So go ahead. I was gonna say, realistically, that's not gonna happen. I mean, you have all these powerful people out there. Diddy's already in jail. You're not gonna arrest Barack Obama. You're not gonna arrest LeBron James. You're not gonna arrest Jay-Z, Beyonce.
would that be?
I mean, seriously. I mean, think about all the people on that list, and maybe that's why they haven't released the list, because all
that's
these
why-
people with the same thing with the Epstein list.
And that's the thing that pisses me off, Tony, because you said exactly what I wanted to say, and that is these people remain emboldened. Like they still get in their pulpits, they still get in front of the camera, they still do their interviews, they still do their press junkets, and they are emboldened in that nothing's ever going to happen to them. Well, let me tell you, something could happen to you if you're not careful. There's a whole lot going on with the economy, and you feel like you're on shaking ground. There's nothing that seems affordable affordable anymore. And so a lot of people are relying on their credit cards to cover those gaps, and credit card debt is skyrocketing. It's leaving a lot of people stressed out. So if you're a homeowner, you don't have to face this uncertainty alone. There's a solution. My friends over at American Financing can help you take control. They can help you access the equity in your home and help you pay down the high-interest credit card debt that you have. They can give you some peace of mind and real savings. On average, the people that they help are saving about $800 a month. They can help you close that loan in as little as 10 days. So don't let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing today. Cost you nothing to get started. They don't work off of commissions. They work off of salaries. So they're not going to try to sell you or upsell you anything. They just want to help you. You can delay maybe 2 mortgage payments. That would be helpful. Gives you a little cushion in the uncertain times. Call them today, 888-675-4090. That's 888-675-4090. You can visit them at americanfinancing.net/Chad, americanfinancing.net/Chad. We got to give you the disclaimer, NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. All right. Well, it gets pretty silly talking about men giving up their man card. Here's 2 men facing off in a championship that's actually a women's competition. This is pool, and apparently they can not only do it on the table, they can do it in their pockets. These 2 men are in the championship. This is the women's championship. Can't make it up. These are 2 tranny, whatever. These are biological males.
Yep. One with a fupa.
You know what? That's when you're really committed to becoming a woman, is when you actually grow out the fupa.
Oh, right there.
Look at that.
That's a beautiful, yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, that's 2 dudes.
Yeah.
They all sort of have that look. They all sort of have that look.
The only thing that's missing is the septum rings.
Yeah, they all sort of have that look, which I can't put my finger on it. Oh, it's like men. It's weird.
Yeah.
Riley Gaines had a pretty funny post about that. She said, this is a real-life South Park episode. What are their names? They call themselves Harriet and Lucy?
Haynes and Lucy. Yeah, Harriet.
So that's
and
what
Lucy.
they went with. You can pick any name in the book, and you went with Harriet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, it gets worse. Let's just face it, men are better than women at everything. Okay, there, I said it. No, let's just say it. If you want to let men take over your women's sports, it's an admission that says men are better at everything than women are. They can have babies, they can get their menstrual cramps, whatever, they're better. Female disc golfer refused to compete with a dude opponent. I mean, even they're playing Frisbee here, and the men are kicking their butt. I mean, the men are kicking their butt at Frisbee. And she pulled out of the thing, something that most women can't do. She pulled out, and he stayed in, and now, it's just like this fencing thing we talked about last week. Boom, there we are. So, I mean, more women are going to have to do this. It's a shame they have to do that. That they have to make that kind of stand is ridiculous. They should be protected. But women's sports is dead, and based on what I've seen with the WNBA, some women's sports should go away. Took a stand today is what she said. Good for her.
Listen, I think the thing about this video here, if you guys watch this whole video towards the end, and we're going to move on, but if you guys watch it towards the end, what angers me more than them allowing this man to compete in the women's sport here is the fact that a lot of the people on there were ridiculing her for taking a stand. They were saying stuff like "have fun on the couch" or blah, saying all kinds of stupid things, and that is our society now. That they're enabling all these trans people to be able to infiltrate women's sports, and it's just not fair. We all know that physically men are stronger than women. There's just no denying that, and you're just giving them a one-up. They're having the advantage when it goes in there. That's just like cheating. It literally is just like cheating. So
and
just
these people
are just. Yeah, and these people are just enabling this whole society to keep on doing it.
Yeah, I saw a clip of the actual tournament itself of this like fully grown man that's competing with these little bitty women, and like I don't know what y'all call it. I don't disc golf, but they call it teeing off, and like the biological girl throws it and it goes about that far, and then this barbarian gets up and just wow, and
Slinging the
the
discus.
commentator, and it sounded like dude off of PGA. The dude from a dude from the PGA Tour is like, oh my God, Carrie has such power behind her driver. She has such power behind her driver. I was like, because it's a dude. It's
Wow.
a dude.
He's slinging a discus.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
The only thing that would ever cause an outcry, mark my word, if a man dressed as a woman would ever try to join the WNBA, then you would have an outcry.
Please, Lord.
Then,
let that
like,
happen.
if you did it at that level, some guy comes along and says, all right, I'm going to beat the snot out of Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to start checking her up and slapping her into the boards. Like, I like that's hockey, but whatever.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you start putting dudes in the WNBA, then you'll get an outcry.
I'd love to see some 6'6" dude just rim racking on
Yeah, because
Angel
then it
Reese.
will be a violation of something on a racist level.
Yeah.
And so
It's got to be a white dude, though. It's got to be a white dude.
Yeah, and they need to be Luka Doncic need to be out there in the long shorts and just crushing.
Yes.
With the
Shooting
fall away
from the
jumper.
half court line.
Yeah. I mean, we already have a female in the NBA. They already have that. And his name's LeBron James.
Yeah.
So that's already there. Tragic situation happened in Frisco, Texas, over the end of last week. Austin Metcalf they were at a track meet there. Everybody's seen this story. This is crazy. And the boy that stabbed him in the heart. Carmelo Anthony. I mean, I can't believe they named the kid Carmelo Anthony, but. Speaking of NBA, but Carmelo Anthony, he stabbed him in the heart. And they did a GoFundMe or a Give Send Go. I think that's raised like $100,000 at this point.
Yeah, it's up to 100 at this point.
The spin that they're running on this story. Now, okay, first of all, we got into fights when we were in school, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had scuffles. We had all those little things. Boys do boys things. And apparently this kid is sitting in the wrong tent at the track meet. This other kid comes in and tells him to leave. There's the speculation based on the eyewitnesses that he touched his bag to move it out of there. Again, that's not a capital crime that you should die over. There's been people out there making accusations that he and his twin brother attacked Carmelo. There's all kind of stories being floated out there. Listen, you don't stab someone in the heart. You don't bring a knife to a track meet. Okay. And now we see from Colin Rugg that Frisco police are launching an investigation after social media users started spreading fake details about the murder of Austin Metcalf. Multiple anonymous accounts were launched. Some of them were in the name of like the police chief and stuff, and say they were accusing far-right bloggers. They had to set the record straight, and they were putting out false claims about what had happened. Said that falsely claimed that Metcalf sucker punched Anthony. And let me just say, if some kid sucker punches another kid at a track meet, you still don't stab him in the heart. All right? So there were people who were creating fake statements in the name of fake law enforcement accounts. They said if they find them, when they find them, they're being investigated. They'll face a third-degree felony charges of impersonation.
Yeah, especially like this down here. Like this is one of those fake things that this kid had. He died. This is not real. That he had Molly in his system. That he had all kind of drugs in his system. None of that is true.
Yeah, none of that's true.
None of that is true.
We're watching an interesting unraveling. We talked about this before the show. And until we stand up and say, okay, enough is enough, that this white or black, I don't care about your melanin, I don't care, until we get past the thug culture, until we stand up and say we're going to hold these fatherless homes accountable, the lies and the spin need to be held accountable, like, for instance, saying that this kid had a 3.8 GPA and he's got like a 1.3. if your first response when you are in an aggressive situation is to pull out a knife and stab someone in the heart, you got some serious mental issues going on right there. There's a lot of underlying issues. And don't try to turn this into a George Floyd thing. I mean, but the spin on it, and I blame the churches as well, particularly the black churches. And I don't care who comes at me on this. I can defend it. I blame them for continuing to peddle this brainwashing nonsense that everybody's a victim and everybody needs to fight back because everybody's oppressed. I'm sick to death of this stuff. And we have fostered and we've placated and danced around and tiptoed around this whole thug culture of violence and the whole whatever you want to call it, whether it's the looting, the burning, the tearing down cities, the stealing, all the stuff, walking in there with a sense of entitlement and putting $750 worth of product in a bag and trying to walk out of the Walgreens. It's murder, okay? This is murder. And we've seen it with the Jasmine Crockett, that no matter what hood rat garbage comes out of Jasmine Crockett's mouth, you see a certain group of people that are going to come out there and consistently defend her no matter what she says, simply because she's black. And I'm sorry, I'm not defending you based on your skin color. If you're going to do white trash things, and God knows I don't hang around white trash folk because white trash folk do white trash things, I ain't hanging around you either. I'll call your meth head ass out. And I don't care who it offends, because I'm not impressed by anybody's insanity.
Yeah, period.
But to sit there and continue to sit there and say, oh, we're going to excuse this because what was it she said to Charlemagne for God the other day? Jasmine Crockett said, we got skin folk that ain't kin folk. See, this skin folk mindset that you want to keep bringing up there and just defending somebody carte blanche without any reason, or to even create fake accounts in order to spin it and turn the aggressor into the victim, that is not how you run a society. Culture is doomed. Culture is doomed. Society cannot survive without a sense of truth and justice. It just can't. So when you're making up narratives, this is the essence of postmodernism, when you have taken feelings over facts and elevated it to the degree where if you had black folks, I just say it, if you had black folks out there lynching white folks, they would find a way to justify it. It wasn't right when the KKK Democrats did it. It wasn't right when the Jim Crow Democrats did it. It wasn't right when Democrat LBJ said what he did about the whole, social system. It wasn't right when Democrats did it, and it ain't right for black folks to do it now. And by the way, they're Democrats too. Democrats, man, between euthanasia, racism, abortion, and genocidal tendencies, Democrats kill you, all right? They kill you. All they know is violence.
Yep. Two things. All right. Number one, and me and Spartacus talked about this on Thursday, which is my father. When just a little over 20 years ago, like when I was in school, we had guns hanging at the back glass of our trucks. We literally come from the woods hunting, and the guns would still be hanging in the back glass of our trucks. We all had pocket knives in our pockets.
Of course.
None of this kind of stuff ever happened. It's the parents. It is the parents. I know I sound like a broken record. I say this damn near every day. We don't have a politician problem. We don't have a Republican or Democrat problem. We have a parent problem and a lack of Jesus problem. But let me show you how twisted, because I just found this, because I remember this happening not too long ago, that somebody started a GoFundMe for his defense, but it got taken down. Do y'all remember this right here? When Kyle Rittenhouse was arrested, GoFundMe said,
That's right.
No, we're not doing it. No.
Great point there.
That's right.
Two things also for me. Number one is, you cannot justify whatever. If Austin was bullying Carmelo or whatever, you cannot justify taking somebody's life. Bringing a knife and stabbing him. I mean, what happened to the whole? Let's be men and let's duke this out fist to fist. I mean, all these people that are bringing guns and bringing knives and all that, it's because you're freaking cowards. That's why. I mean, there isn't anything anymore about they justify all this stuff with them with bringing weapons in there because they're cowards. Plain and simple is what it is. It's the same thing when school shooters taking guns and start gunning people down, people that can't defend themselves because they don't have weapons of their own. It's the same thing. Number two is, for all the people who are raising money for this kid who just murdered somebody else, shame on all of you. These poor parents are planning a funeral for their child just got murdered, and you guys are over here defending him and justifying the fact that they're trying to make him the victim when he literally murdered somebody and took your son's life, and they're planning a funeral for their child, and you're over there. The left and the media are making Carmelo look like the victim. Shame on all of you for doing all that. It disgusts me.
And it is disgusting, Tony. And you got the dad of the murdered child who comes out there and saying, well, I don't think he's a bad kid. No, he is a bad kid. He put a knife in your kid's heart.
Yeah.
He's a bad kid. And you know what? You can blame the 74% fatherlessness in the black home. You can blame the fact that they've been targeted by the government for so long, to be victimized, to be in a welfare state, to be dependent on the government. It's a mindset of victimization to say, oh, slavery happened 200 years ago, 150 years ago, slavery was here. The reparations nonsense, and to sit around saying, you guys got to be perpetual victims because of something that 2% of the country did back in the 1850s. I mean, okay. We don't have time to go there. We don't have time to go there. I mean, I can pull the facts. I can pull the historical facts, and I can back them up with the numbers. But you're going to sit there and you're going to talk about what a small group of Americans did back in the 1850s, and then you're going to keep playing that out in the 21st century and make yourself out to be a victim. Let me tell you something, you parents and you grandparents. You need to teach your kids, see, because what Tony said a minute ago is true. These days, you can't just trust to go out there and throw fists. You can't, because my parents taught me a long time ago, said you might get in a fight, but there's some folks out there that are always going to pick up a weapon because they don't believe in fighting fair. And the older I get, I don't necessarily believe in fighting fair either, but I ain't going to go out there and murder somebody. But I'm also not just going to go out there and get in a fight. I'm 52 years old, and it hurts even when you win. So I'm either going to try to talk this thing out or walk away. So teach your kids to learn how to walk away. Keep your hands off everybody's stuff, because this is a tragic situation.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what this person in the chat meant, so I'm not gonna use the name here. I'm gonna give them an opportunity to explain this comment. But the comment is, y'all are all cowards. Then Chad and Todd talk about carrying protection everywhere. There's a difference. I carry protection everywhere I go, but the difference is, am I a monster? No, I'm not. Am I capable of being one? You damn right I am. Okay,
and I tell you this, I'm not gonna pull out my Glock 19 because somebody moved my bag.
Yeah, exactly. No,
defending yourself is one thing. I mean, somebody comes at me with a knife. Yeah, I'm packing. I promise you.
Yeah, I promise.
You'll find out how big of a coward I am.
Yeah.
I'll bend your knee 90 degrees in the wrong direction. You've messed with me, but and I don't need a gun to do that. So let me just tell you, a deal like that, that's a whole different deal. Now, if you're calling somebody a coward because you're not willing to just walk around murdering somebody just because they blow their chest out a little bit and get puffed up, that's not what the Second Amendment is for.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's a difference of being violent and being capable of violence. Am I a violent person? Not at all. Not at all. Am I capable of it? Oh, hell yeah. I absolutely
and you better be
am.
ready. If you pull that thing and you use it, you better be ready to face the consequences of the society that we've now created.
Yeah.
You better hope you're in Texas or Florida or someplace like that, because if you do that in Illinois or somewhere else, California, or Oregon, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Can you guys imagine how the media would have freaked out if they started calling the police officer that they charged for George Floyd's murder the victim because he had to put him on the ground and, do his job? You imagine how they would just freak out. That's exactly what they're doing. They're making Carmelo Anthony the victim here, and even though he was the one that murdered Austin. Can you guys imagine the firestorm that would have happened if they would have did that?
Yeah, I'm just telling you, like, I love you. I love all of you. But when it comes to my friends, these two men included, that woman in that house right there, y'all know it. I'll burn this whole county to the ground. I'll do it.
Let's move quick through some of these things. Trump has announced that 50 countries have already reached out to begin the tariff negotiations. This is how you negotiate right here. So we started out talking about it. Are we going to pay some higher prices on stuff like that? Play this clip real quick. This is encouraging right here. It's already happening. You're watching it in real time. Play it.
I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S. because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China.
There you go.
There you go. And Stephen Miller had this to say. I think Stephen Miller, I can. People will disappoint you, and I hope he never does. But I think he's the smartest guy in.
God, he's so smart.
Just play a little bit of this right here.
The United States is 36% of global consumption, and we're more than 25% of the world's economy. Just the United States alone. That means we get to set the rules and terms for international trade. But we've done the opposite as a country for decades now. When we hear the term globalization, what does that really mean? It means taking America's wealth and shipping it to foreign countries. So all the factories that used to be in America are now in China, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, Canada, Mexico, parts of Africa, India, Europe, Japan, Korea. You know where they're not? The United States of America. Because our leaders allowed foreign countries to rig the rules of the game, to cheat, to steal, to rob, to plunder. That has cost America trillions of dollars in wealth. These countries cannot win a trade fight with us because they're already the ones who have cheated. So in other words, they've stolen our industries. We have all the upside here in this fight because we can now make these industries come back because we have the market. We have the consumers they need. Japan cannot replace the American automobile market. Europe can't replace the American automobile market. They need us. And this is a fundamental issue of fairness and national security. Tell me, why is it that if you go to Tokyo, there's no American cars? If you go to Berlin, there's no American cars. But on our streets, we have every foreign car there is in the world. They've locked their markets to our cars. They have stolen from our workers and our people. And President Trump is...
That's perfect example. All you need to hear. Perfect example.
That's crazy.
And it's true because they understand. They keep their markets closed. And it's also fascinating to me how everybody online went from being a virologist to a macroeconomist overnight.
Overnight.
If you make a certain statement out there and you say anything about anything, then they're, you're so stupid, you're so stupid. I'm like, okay, chief. But look at what's happened. Mexico has already bent the knee. They will not implement retaliatory tariffs against the U.S., so there we go on that one. Mm-hmm. And then you have Vietnam, who has bent the knee, and you're like, well, Vietnam, just had a very productive call to Lam, General Secretary, Communist Party of Vietnam. You got the communists bending the knee, said they're going to cut their tariffs down to, say it with me, zero. Everybody put a little goose egg right there, a little zero. Let me put a little zero right
I
there.
know we didn't have time to get into this, but how do we get to this point here where all the countries are allowed to export their vehicles over here and we're not allowed to export our vehicles to like Japan or Germany and all that? And I tell you one thing, I mean, the people that are lining their pockets aren't the American taxpayers. It's all the freaking politicians that allowed that to happen, and that's why they're coming out of there with millions and millions in their pockets instead of the $110,000 they make a year.
And we are weak people in America. We are weak. We want cheap crap. I can't tell you. Todd, we put our make wellness stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
I get people joining our team. Should join my team. I just won a trip to Mexico yesterday. I can help you, Daddy. In 10 days. But I'm just saying, I have people all the time who go, it's too expensive. You know what's too expensive is going to the doctor and dealing with your crap. That's what's too expensive. Mm-hmm. But we're all about what's too expensive. We have a poverty mindset in this country. We think everything is supposed to be immediate and push button microwavable. We think that that's why we're fat, because we eat fast food. We think that our cars are supposed to be cheap. We were complaining because during the COVID pandemic we couldn't get our chips from Taiwan, and so we couldn't reach down and push a button and the truck seat move forward for us. We had to manually pull our truck seats forward.
What about this? What about rolling up the windows? Couldn't do that either.
We couldn't do it. Couldn't have the electric deal. So the point is, people are literally who said, I've sold T-shirts for years. I've sold T-shirts for 30 years. You know what I get when I post a T-shirt? Where's it made? Okay, first of all, the cotton comes from Nicaragua, and we put it together here in America. That's the best we can do. People are like, well, they're too expensive. Okay, well, we can buy Chinese crap that's put together by a Uyghur slave, but, that's a human rights violation. So all these people that talk about America first and buy American, buy small, buy local, all that kind of stuff, and now they're going, well, wait a minute, we're not going to be able to buy our crap from China anymore. First of all, get off of Temu and support American companies.
That's one part about this whole world economic thing that I've just being a simpleton, as Trent would say, I've never understood is every single country in the world kind of treats the United States like Major League Baseball treats the Yankees during the trade deadline. Well, let's sit back and see what the Yankees are going to do. When it comes to worldly stuff, everybody goes, well, let's sit back and see what America's going to do. Because if America's going to jump in, we're going to jump in. Because let's call balls and strikes here. The world dictates what decisions we make. What we make, what we do, where we shift as a country determines what the rest of the world does, except money. Our money's going to everywhere else, and no money's coming to us. That's the only thing we don't control. Why not? If you're looking at me and I'm the stud of the world, and I'm sorry, I don't believe in Trump king, Trump emperor, but as far as like there being an imperial over the world, we're it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all kill me in the chat, dude.
Yep.
People say we're not all like that. I know you're not all like that, but statistically, stereotypically, this whole problem exists because, yes, we are all like that. That's an American problem.
I saw this joke the other day online with Temu. They said one of their 100,000 square foot warehouses went up in smoke, and they're estimated the loss to be about $40.25. I'm like, okay.
The UK, so the UK is starting to bend the knee. A lot of other countries are bending the knee. Here's some proof. Let's skip down a little bit, Todd. Here, there's
all right, where we going?
Proof that the tariffs are working.
Here we go. The auto worker.
Yeah, play this right here.
Is Trump's tariffs already working? Don't scroll past this video because you're going to want to hear this.
That's my cousin Bobby, by the way.
I was going to say.
He's the reason the factory went up in smoke.
Exactly.
Stellantis, the maker of Ram pickup trucks, has just announced that they are laying off 900 people and shutting down 2 plants in Canada and Mexico because of Trump's tariffs. And that's what you're going to hear on the news today, okay? But the part you're not going to hear on the news is they also announced that they are reopening a plant in Illinois where they're going to hire 1,500 American workers to start building Ram mid-size pickup trucks. Now, if that is not what the tariffs
stop him right there.
I think I'm the only one on this screen and in this entire show that understood every word.
Bro,
I think I'm the only one.
I am for a Southerner, I'm a fast talker. When I get around people that take that long to say 47 words, it's a lot going on there.
I like it.
Illinois are good.
Illinois.
I was gonna have you translate for me. I didn't understand a dang word that guy said. I was like, what?
Mid-size pickup truck.
Mid-size pickup truck in Illinois.
This is something here that's huge. We won't play the clip, but this is huge. Keir Starmer came out and said that globalization doesn't work. Now, I want to remind you guys, this is what the deep state wants. They want globalization. He's saying that globalization has failed. This is what Barack Obama wanted. Let's lower American standards to even out the playing field. See, this is the difference between Obama and Trump. Obama wanted to bring the mountain down to the valley. Trump's trying to bring the valley up to the mountain, okay, or raise the mountain higher so that the valley gets deeper and they want to rise up. Let's put it that way. Because Obama wanted to bring it down, globalization, and this is huge. He said Trump has done something that we don't agree with. whoopee-doo. But there's a reason why people are behind him on this. And I will remind you, GOP, you Republicans out there in name only, we didn't vote for your status quo GOP. 80 million people voted for Donald Trump, not for the status quo GOP. So you better get on board with this. He said, we don't agree with it, but there's a reason people are behind him. The world has changed. Globalization is, and I hope he believes this. I hope this is true. Globalization is over, and we're now in a new era. That is huge. Now, they said that he was supposed to come out today, make a further statement on this. I'm anxious to see what's going on here. If Keir Starmer is really going to make this statement, because this is sort of a leaked statement right here. Huge if true, folks. Down with globalization. I don't want to be like Vietnam. I don't want to be like Thailand. I don't want to be like, the Belgian Congo, if that even still exists. I don't want to be like that, I want to be America.
Yeah.
And I want to be great. And I want the world to look up to America. See, this is the difference between the last 4 years where America was asleep because Joe Biden was asleep. The administration was asleep. And they were okay to play a little mamby-pamby game of pussyfooting around where everything was watered down to the point where the world looked at us and they didn't feel any sense of need to say, we're not worried about America. I mean, America, they're dozing off right now. And the world ran amok and did whatever they wanted to do with zero consequences. Look at Putin going into Ukraine. Look at, we left billions of dollars of equipment behind in Afghanistan and they took over. ISIS and everybody else rose back up. Taliban, I mean, all of them. And they were like, well, big deal. Iran, they could act with aggression. Gaza could go into, Hamas could go into Israel and do what they did on October 7th. And they were like, America's not going to do anything about it.
Nope.
Well, the times they are a-changing, folks.
I agree with you 100%, Chad. And just to touch on your point there, I want America to be great also, but I want us to start, like President Trump says, put America first. We send billions of dollars overseas all the time, across our borders. Hundreds of countries are always getting money from us when we have so many needs here with all of our, veterans living on the street. People can't afford their groceries. Let's make America, put America first again, and then if anything's left over, we'll help people who need it. But we need to put our citizens first.
Yeah.
Well, if America is the country that everybody looks up to, then we have to become a country worthy of being looked up to. And right now, we're not.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, is Western North Carolina rebuilt? Is it? Is Southern California rebuilt? I mean, I don't mean like a 15-minute city, but anyway, we've got to move on. This is Trump. This goes back a ways. What's this, Donahue? Yeah. Remember Phil Donahue?
I think this was Oprah, actually.
Was this Oprah?
Oprah, I think.
Okay, so this is 1988. I was a freshman in high school, folks.
I was 5.
Yeah, there you go.
What about the enemy? It's the enemies you can't talk to so easily. I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion. And yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Open. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political prison.
Yeah. And everybody in that audience, everybody in that audience listening to him with just bated breath. I mean, like he was saying the most profound thing in the world. They were admiring the words coming out of his mouth, every single one of them. It's the same stuff Chuck Schumer and the same stuff Nancy Pelosi were saying around the same time.
Yeah. Same stuff Reagan said. Same stuff Reagan said in the 80s. They were all, even Bernie Sanders said this stuff in the 90s.
Yeah, and you have people out there who are going to say, well, Chad, these aren't tariffs. These are trade deficits. Stop talking. Like, just stop talking. Are you going to tell me tariffs don't exist on the part of other countries? Are you really going to tell me that? And I've got people doing the biggest mental gymnastics. And I understand there's a lot of numbers that are floating around out there that don't, they're not accurate. I get that. And that's going to be, you're going to have that. But you can't tell me the tariffs on the part of other countries placed on American products, you can't tell me they don't exist. They do exist, or placed on the products that we're trying to import. They do exist. So, but let's move on real quick. We got to go because we're on the hour. We got all these people over the weekend. They were protesting. They were out there with their whole hands-off thing. They don't even know why they were protesting. This was hilarious to me. These are a bunch of paid agitators, the fascist Trump regime. Let's play just a little piece of this right here. Let's see what they know.
So what makes Trump a fascist?
I don't know.
What makes Trump a fascist?
I don't know.
Does things without
Yeah, talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
Guarantee you those glasses were made by a slave in China.
Sorry?
He just doesn't. He just does everything he
Built them at the
wants,
house.
and not following laws or he's a convicted felon. That's all I know.
Skip forward. Just skip forward. Let's see
Your
some more
sign
stupid.
says
Just bump
Oh,
forward.
here we go.
Here we go.
All right.
Say that again?
He's trying to control the narrative.
How is he trying to control the media? Doesn't every president try to control the narrative?
They try to control their own narrative, but one of the things that Trump has done, for example, is the renaming the Gulf of Mexico, and then not allowing the Associated Press to come into the White House. Basically, trying to get.
What are your feelings about him renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America when a majority of the Gulf is in fact on the coast of America as opposed to Mexico?
I mean, it's kind of pointless. People.
Is it pointless?
Yeah, people call it the Gulf of Mexico. What's the
Don't
point
you think
of
it could have a
changing the name?
positive tourism impact potentially?
Tourism has been down heavily.
So I don't want to get into a tourism debate. My question is, the sign says the fascist Trump regime must go.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious what makes him a fascist. You pointed out that maybe something about his relationship with the media, he wants to control it, but
yeah.
How? Again, you're calling him a fascist.
Yeah, well,
what makes him a fascist?
One of the core tenets of fascism is creating an enemy, right? And blaming those problems on
What's
the enemy.
that?
No. So paper gave me, yeah.
Who gave you that?
The people that gave me the sign. It's a free sign.
Someone gave you the sign.
Oh my God!
It's a free sign. They gave him a cheat sheet and gave him a free sign. This is what we're talking about. Let's skip forward. Where's the kakistocracy? And I don't know how many of you guys off the top of your head know what a kakistocracy
No
is.
clue.
I can define it.
I
can
got
tell
no
you.
clue.
I have no idea.
I
can tell
refuse
you-
to believe that's even a word.
Well, it shouldn't be a word, but they've got a word for everything. And these guys, I mean, they had to make this could have been a real skinny banner. Like, this could have been a real skinny banner if they had not chosen the big word on the bottom of the thing. End the kakistocracy. Play this clip. Here we go. Come on, Grandpa.
And what brings you out here today?
What doesn't?
Can you explain a little bit for our viewers what this means?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Where's
Everybody
your
points at
handout?
each other. Pulls out
Kakistocracy.
his cheat sheet.
Government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state. Seems to fit, doesn't it?
No clue.
No
clue. No
I mean,
clue.
the self-own in that, really, the fact that he couldn't define the word, he's holding the sign. Let me just tell you, as a general principle, you're never going to find me in public dressed up as or carrying a banner or carrying, like, I'm not going to walk out there carrying a pride flag and be like, oh, I didn't know what this meant.
Use your handout.
Let's get the handout from the people who gave us the stupid sign.
Oh
I mean, I can just
God.
picture these people at home ironing on the letters on their black banners and stuff like this. This is arts. They're having arts and crafts and putting words out there that they don't even know what they mean.
Man, I would beat my kid to death if I
Well,
saw him
speaking
on
of
Twitter.
beating people to death, play the next clip. You know, Jabba the Hutt comes up there at the protest, and don't go too far into this. Just go to the point where the deed happens. This is beautiful right here. And people can hate me if they want, but this is the kind of the street justice.
I don't know if I can pause this, but
Test gone wrong.
No, let it go through the smack.
Okay.
When Todd the Tard comes up there because he is the weapon.
Here comes Bubba. I am the weapon.
I am the weapon.
I am the weapon.
Sure. Watch it.
Shut
Wow.
Hauls off and slaps her with that ham hock of a hand.
I did not watch that clip. I just saw the beginning of it. I thought she was just freaking out. I didn't know she was gonna get.
He went up
Telling you,
there.
man. I've been warning y'all for years. Don't fool with Bubba, man.
He
Bubba
went
don't
up there
play.
and smoked her.
Bubba don't play.
Wow.
This guy had a great little epithet about the difference between a tornado and a Democrat. Play the clip.
Do you know the difference between a tornado and a Democrat? One will take everything you have, leave you homeless, and destroy your city. The other is just weather.
And then in a final note, a very positive thing before we pray and go to the Super Chats, here's what this kid had to say about the next generation and Democrats.
If you ever want to know why the young generation is never going to trust a liberal again and will probably vote conservative for years and years and years to come, it's because of the fact that they're the generation that watched their parents go from being able to be working class and live a good life on a middle class paycheck, just being able to get by with food and rent and even buying a home and all of these things, family vacations, just the classic middle class life. They watched their parents go from that to barely being able to get by on two really good paychecks and still be struggling with money constantly with no hope in sight. That's what the liberals have done to this country in 10 years, and the young generation will not forget or forgive that.
There you go.
See, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
And I don't understand I still don't get how the protesters, they're out there with their signs, and the left and liberals and everything like that still don't understand that their paychecks aren't going as far as they used to. Yet with the Biden administration, they were letting in all the immigrants here, and they were setting them up in 5-star hotels and giving them Visa gift cards so they can go out and buy groceries when the rest of us can't pay our utilities. I still don't understand how they're still supporting all that.
And let me just tell you something, boys. And I'm so sick, and we got to go. But let me just tell you, when I sit there and I realize how many people that keep getting their economy statistics off of these left-wing websites. Trump didn't crater the market in his first term. He's not cratering it now. The market drop happened through the pandemic. That lasted about 3 weeks, and every single major index was back up by the end of the year. The next downturn we saw in the economy, Tony, was in Biden. Inflation went to a 40-year high, got the worst bond market in history. The stock market drop lasted 2 years. National debt ballooned from policies put in place by Biden and every previous administration going all the way back to George W. And listen, you can't predict the market performance, but it's amazing to me the stuff we put up with through the pandemic. And like you said, Tony, to your point, all the crap that we've done and embraced, or I say a lot of Americans have, brain dead Americans, and they put up with it through the Biden administration. I keep saying, give this 6 months. Give this 6 months. I think you're watching the knee get bent right now in real time. Mm-hmm. Give it 6 months, and let's see. If I have to pay, as I said in the opening monologue, if I have to pay a little extra or live a little leaner for the next month or so in order to see, because again, you're not even seeing the implications of the tariff thing happen yet. So if I have to live a little leaner for the next couple of months and say, okay, it's going to be a little more expensive right now, but maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be. But I'm willing to invest that for America to be back on top. And Biden did not have us back on top. So, I mean, we got tariffs. They haven't even worked their way into the system. So let's see what happens moving forward, folks. Now, the market volatility isn't on Trump. Yeah, it's on Trump. But you know what? Actually, that market volatility, you watch and see, that's going to play to a positive as well. Mm-hmm. And buy the dip, folks. Buy the dip. If you know, you know.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip. All right, let's pray. Go to the Super Chats. If you haven't put a Super Chat in there, put it in there. $5 gets it read on air, and all the money goes to Graham Allen. Yeah, baby. Tony, pray us out here, my brother.
Sure. Father, I come to you today as your humble servant, and I pray to you to please give us all strength, because we need it, because we know some of my fellow Christians, there are very big morons, and I'm, forgive my language, but we all need strength to try to forgive for what they're doing over there, because they do not know what they are doing. They're brainwashed, and they need your strength. They need prayers from all of us to help them see the light, as we all do. We all love what you do for us. We all pray that our family stays safe and healthy, and all of our friends and everybody around. Just keep us all safe. I pray to you this. More than anything, I'm grateful for everything that I have, and I apologize for what I just said about my fellow Christians. Please forgive me, and all God's people said, Amen.
Amen.
Now that's okay. Tony,
Man,
you're right. God, look, let me tell you something, buddy. God laughed when you said it. I promise. He laughed. And if you don't think
Tony
he did,
getting convicted in real time. I like watching it.
God has a sense of humor. If you don't believe me, look at a duck-billed platypus and go to Walmart after dark. God has a sense of humor.
You'll see people with their crack hanging out that are on crack.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love you, Tony.
It's me, Samantha. My mom died 1 year ago today. I want to give God all the praise for sustaining me when I felt like I was drowning. I survived the hardest year of my life. That is,
bless you, sister.
Praying for you, sister girl. Randall J. All. So are we saying that it's okay for Trump and the DOJ to let these rapists and pedophiles off the hook? If not, what are we going to do about it? I'll never say that. Y'all know how I feel about it.
I don't know how you would take that away from anything anybody said. No, we're not saying let anybody off the hook.
Yeah, for real. Mystified Wanderer. Any chance of taking Dear America on the road? Seeing y'all chatting it up on stage and doing a meet and greet with y'all, the three patriotic amigos, would be awesome. Just a thought.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down. I'm good.
I mean, I'm on the road anyway. We may as well do it.
Might as well.
There ain't no way you get me on the road with you guys. You guys are too much for me.
Can you imagine the clips that might come out from that, Tony? Yeah.
I'd be standing back with my hands up in the air. I got nothing. I don't know.
Mama Christie, if Trump put these things into effect, no men in women's sports, why are they still doing it? Why are they not getting into trouble legally? Well, those particular, the pool thing was in the UK, so that's different. And the disc golf thing, that wasn't like school related. That was just an anybody can come event. And the fencing thing as well. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, we still have freedoms in this country. Unfortunately.
Trump is a fascist.
Yeah. Mystified Wanderer. Toxic masculinity. When males can't accept the success of biological females, they transition to becoming fake females so males can remain on top, therefore eliminating the success of bio females. That's a pretty good that's a good one. Mama Christie again, all these kids are acting like this because they see adults acting the same way like idiots. We need to set an example for them to follow. Dads need to be dads also. 100%, Mama. Jody Hart, what is the site to buy Dear American merch? Have a fantastic day to all of you. Also, when will Royce be back?
We've never heard anybody by that name.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, we're working on getting. This has taken a long time. We've been thrown a lot of curveballs in the last few months. I can't even tell you behind the scenes all the stuff we've had to deal with Graham's transitions and all the stuff we're dealing with. There's a lot of stuff that's coming. Let me just say, there's a lot of good things that you guys are going to be really happy about. A lot of good things that are coming that we're working on, but we've had to deal with so many different things. That being said, there's no Dear America merch site right now, but we are working on that, and I think it's going to be good very soon.
Yes. Press Wild, love your show. Been listening on Apple Podcasts since the beginning. Finally got to watch live today. Keep up the good work. Oh, and Todd, Spot said you wear tight pants, and I think you should. Oh my God, I'm not. No.
That was a good episode with you and Spot, bro.
Man, I'm not even going to do it. Not even going to do it. Angela Durham, Tony, you're awesome.
Thank you,
Tony. You are awesome, my friend.
You are.
Thank you.
He is my Yoda.
We're all awesome. Thank you.
He is my Yoda. Ed Brown, remember the leaders of the Democrats are the same group that protested the Vietnam War.
Not wrong.
Yeah, true statement.
God, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a deep dive. I'm gonna do a deep dive because I think people need to be reminded. I'm gonna do an episode maybe this week. I'm gonna do a deep dive on all the stuff that Democrats have done to absolutely destroy this country.
Yeah, start with LBJ in the '60s.
Well, we can go back further than that.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah.
Knuckles, if you think God doesn't have a sense of humor, check out Todd's skinny jeans and Nancy Pelosi's eyebrows. Thanks, Nuke.
Love it. Knuckles.
Kara, there's a video out there where a Ram truck goes down the road where Tesla protesters are and blows the exhaust in
Love
their
it.
faces. Yes, I saw that video, and it was freaking awesome. And that is all, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
Oh, no, we got one more. Hold tight. From the good Trent. Flying out to work in the oil fields in Alaska today. No live watching for me for the next 2 weeks. Keep up the good work, boys.
Nice.
Love you,
Good
brother.
luck, man.
Be safe
Stay
out
safe.
there.
Yep.
Tell them we said hello. I mean,
Yep.
can you imagine the people back when we said we're going to get Russia, or we're going to get Alaska from Russia, and people are like, no, we're not. We're never going to get that. But there we are.
Oh, no, they're still coming in. Hang on.
Bring it on.
Extra,
Graham making that money.
a.k.a. Stacy. It's common sense that the Gulf is surrounded by the continents of America, so rightly named the Gulf of America. Love you guys in the morning cheering me up.
Yeah, we have fun.
And from our buddy Striker J, men and women's sports give them what they want. Quickest learning curve when men rule the entire court and there are no women left. Maybe they'll get the picture and initiate the let them movement. That's good.
That's so beautiful.
That's it.
Good times, man. I had a fantastic weekend in Kansas. We flew out. We were in Hayes, Kansas, then Sharon Springs, Kansas. Both sold out shows, packed houses. We had a blast. This weekend, I'm going to be at the table at Madeley Local here in Conroe, Texas, and then we're going to Arlington, Texas, up there between right there. We're going to be right there by the AT&T Stadium at the Arlington Music Hall, and then we're going to be together, right? Hattiesburg.
That's
And
right,
we'll see
baby.
you there, Todd.
Oh, you will see me there.
Hattiesburg as well as New Orleans. Go to watchchad.com where all the fun stuff is. All right, boys, let's jump out of here. Todd, when's your show? What's going on?
I will be
Tell 'em
on
bye.
it. I will be on at 3:00, and apparently they want me to say bougie tight pants Todd out.
Tony, what you got?
Hasta mañana, everybody.
Hasta mañana.
I hate you all.
Yeah, we're working on it. Oh, my gosh. We're working on our sanity. Striker J's still working on the Rochester deal, too, with some other dates. Guys, I love you. Thank you, man. It's been a fun Monday. I'm excited. I'm excited about this week. I'm excited about the world we're living in. Stay optimistic and take every opportunity that you can to enjoy the freedoms that you have, man. I love being a part of the Dear America family. You guys are a blessing. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Make sure you share it, like it. Don't get out of here until you like this video on Rumble. And just know that we're praying for you guys every day, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Join me this afternoon, my friend Justin Prince. It's going to be an inspirational episode of the Chad Prather Show today. He's going to join us. He's a powerhouse, dude. And join me at 2, 1 Central over on my Rumble. I love you guys. God bless you. And for the Dear America family, we'll see you in the morning. Bye.